Hello, my name is Nicole Andrews, and I'm running for the Estacada School Board Zone 5. And I wanted to speak to you about the biggest reason why I decided to run for a position on the school board. And so, this reason is deeply personal to me. It concerns my son. He recently confided in me that he was being bullied, and this bullying that was taking place was racially motivated. And so he had been called a monkey, a niglet, compared to the color of the asphalt. And basically, that the N word was being used within the classrooms and the hallways as often as the word hello. And so the incident that brought this conversation with my son forward was that he was having a disagreement with his sister, and he told her that he was going to whip her like her ancestors were whipped. And this caught my attention because while my children knew about slavery, that aspect of slavery was something that we hadn't really discussed with them. All of those really traumatic and heavy parts of it, we didn't really want to put on them at this age. And so we knew that that was coming from somewhere outside of our home. And so that was when he opened up to me and started to tell me about the things that he was experiencing at school. And as you can imagine, I was really heartbroken, absolutely appalled, because up until this point, my family and I, we had been treated with nothing but kindness and respect in this community. And so to witness this kind of behavior to unfolding in our school district, it really was so disappointing and really troubling. And so as I began to navigate how I could best support my son through this experience, he also began to share with me some other stories about other children that were being bullied. Children being bullied because of their weight, children being bullied because of their clothing, children being bullied because they were special needs students, or even who they chose to date. And even just at the most recent school board meeting, there was a community comment from a resident that said that his granddaughter was being bullied up until the point that they even had to withdraw her from the school. And so this wasn't an isolated incident because in these recent weeks, have been having conversations with other parents who stated that their children had been bullied to the point that they had to withdraw their children. And they also just discussed how they felt unheard and unsupported, and even going as far as to say that they felt like this was being swept under the rug. So, like many other parents in this school district and in this community, I'm raising my children to treat others with kindness, respect, and to defend those who are being mistreated. And my faith, it plays a role in this journey. In Matthew 22:39, Jesus, he commands us to love our neighbors as ourselves. So standing up for others is an expression of that love. And as a member of the school board, I would like to continue to live out the values of championing initiatives that don't just penalize bullying, but seek to understand and address its root causes. Because often those who hurt others are themselves hurting. Um, this pervasive pattern of bullying in our district, it indicates to me that there needs to be an overhaul in order to build a district-wide culture of empathy, kindness, and accountability, where every student feels valued, safe, and empowered to thrive. Which is why I believe we must go beyond surface level solutions to bullying and address its deeper social roots. There is a scientist named Rene Girard. I hope I'm saying that correctly. But he developed a theory called the mimetic desire theory. And when we apply that to the behavior of bullying, it demonstrates that much of the bullying stems from imitation, rivalry, and the need for recognition. So students will often mimic behaviors that they see rewarded, whether it's power, popularity, or exclusion. Which means, in order to create a safer, more compassionate learning environment, we must shift the culture by promoting positive role models, encouraging empathy over competition, and breaking the cycle of scapegoating that isolates vulnerable students. As a school board member, I would like to advocate and support initiatives such as peer mentoring. The Boys and Girls Council is an awesome one. My son actually got to be a part of that last year. And any other program that would aid our administration and our educators in improving the cultures of our schools so that our students feel safe and our parents feel that they can continue to entrust us with their children. I believe that our district, it also needs to implement more opportunities to bring parents and guardians into the conversation. So one of the most frustrating parts in trying to advocate for my son was that the administration was already aware of the behavior, but I had never been notified that this was even happening in the schools. So it was really frustrating that there was this expectation for my son to initiate these conversations with administration about the bullying, even though it was an issue that they were already aware of. But the reality is that when you do the research, it shows that only 20 to 30% of students even report bullying to a teacher or staff. So as parents, we are really relying on staff and administration to have their eyes and their ears open to what is going on in these hallways and classrooms and to be consistent in the consequences that are established for bullying. I love that our district has this desire to be transparent with us, but this is an area where transparency really needs improvement. So as a school board member, one of my top priorities would be advocating for bullying to be addressed swiftly and efficiently and for better communication between administration and parents in regards to bullying. This behavior has no place in our district. It tarnishes the reputation of our schools and it undermines the values we hope to instill in our children. School districts are the crown jewel of every community. They reflect both our greatest strengths and the challenges that we must confront together. I would love to be a part of the solution to eradicating this in our district. So I'm asking for your support and most importantly for your vote. Thank you and God bless.